Hi guys, welcome to another YouTube video. It's an absolutely windy day in Manila. It's quite nice actually, it's quite a nice breeze, but hopefully you can hear me all loud and clear. So, the long awaited Pattaya versus Angeles City. So I'm just going to give you my first impressions first, then I'm going to talk about the comparisons, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts. So my first impressions was, it looks very filthy. It looks so filthy when you first go there. At the same time, it does give me that Pattaya feeling. So when you go to Pattaya, let's be honest, you know what you're going to find. You're going to find middle-aged to very elderly men with very young women. It's got all of that and then some. Pattaya these days has definitely got a younger crowd now. I didn't see that much in Angeles City. It was definitely more middle-aged men towards your like elderly gentlemen, and some of the sites, even still to this day, kind of shocked me a little bit. Where you're seeing like a 60, 70-year-old guy getting a lap dance by a 20-year-old. Yeah, I'll never forget when the first time I went to Pattaya, there was a guy in a go-go bar and Soy 6, and he looked just like Colonel Sanders, and he he was getting the filthiest lap dance I have ever seen. So yeah, it's still quite shocking. But when you're there for about probably a night or so, you kind of get used to it after a while. My second impressions was it gave me the vibes again of Pattaya Light. It was like walking down Walking Street, but not as many people, which was quite nice actually. One thing I did not like about Walking Street, there was just too many people, too many crowds. When I went to Angeles City, there was not much of that. There was the, occasional few people, but there wasn't that many people at all, which was nice. I would say that was a plus. Lots of bars. No outside bars, and also everything's concealed in these bars as well. So where you were seeing Pattaya, that you were able to see in the bar pretty much with all the girls inside, most of the bars are closed off, so you would have to go in to see what everything's like. Every bar kind of reminded me more of a strip club in Pattaya. So when you go down and Walking Streets, the ones that are closed off, the strip clubs that they're on these podiums and you just choose a number, that's pretty much most of these bars in Angeles City. Two things that really annoyed me whilst walking was the amount of beggars. Something that you definitely don't get. I don't think I've seen this in Pattaya yet. I'm sure there is, but I've not seen it. Definitely nowhere near to the extent of what you see in Angeles City is beggars. And people are offering you Viagra. Jesus Christ, it was every 2 minutes. It was like a pop-up ad for back in, the early days of the internet, where you just get Viagra, beggar, Viagra, beggar, a woman offering you roses, beggar. That is fucking irritating. And that is something that you're going to experience quite a lot. My girl told me to say Hindi. You just say Hindi to them. So no, in Filipino, don't ask me to pronounce the actual name of the language or which one it is, because I still don't know it properly. But no, just say Hindi, and you have to say it a few times, but yeah, pain in the bloody ass. So that's my first impressions. So let's get into when you do get into these bars. Okay, so the bars, again, when you walk in, if you've ever been to Walking Street and you've been to the strip clubs and you see them all on that podium and they've got a number, that is pretty much most of these bars, unless you go to a place called Mega Dance. Now, the places I went to, bear in mind, I just want to say this, I was only there for 2 nights, okay? So I wasn't able to hit every single bar, and I only went out from 8 o'clock till the latest 5 o'clock. So you've got to excuse me, I've not been to every place. I'm only telling you about the places I've been. So the places I went to was Lucifer, XS, Carousel, Lollipop, and we always ended up in Mega Dance, which is a cool place. I liked Mega Dance a lot. It gave me the vibes of Republic, I think it's called, in Pattaya. Very, very similar, or very similar to Manila's Octopus, which is good as well. So, again, when you walk in, you'll see all of them on the stage. You pretty much, like, if there's a girl that you like, you just ask one of the waitresses, which one thing I did like, so that the waitresses will come up to you, ask you what you drink, and from there you just say like what girl that you want, and then they will come to you, okay, and they will sit next to you, you talk to them, you buy them a lady drink. Now the lady drinks are more expensive from what I saw. I think I was paying about 400 pesos for a drink, which is definitely over a fiver in British pounds. I don't know what that is in American, but lady drinks in Soy 6 especially, they're only 170 baht, which works out about 300 pesos here. So you are paying a little bit more here, unfortunately. But I think it's similar to the strip clubs of Walking Street. So yeah, I think you got to realise it's not like the go-go bars. It's very, very, very similar to Walking Street in Pattaya. The girls, okay, my brutal, honest opinion on them. I got told that you need to go pretty early. You need to go up like 5, 6 o'clock to get the best looking ones because they get snapped up pretty early. The time I went, again, I wasn't really that too fussed, if I'm honest. I was just there for more of a birthday party. The girls were pretty mid. I'll be brutally honest. Some of them were downright shocking. There was one bar called Lucifer, and I'll never forget it. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, if anyone's from Lucifer is watching this video, you need to do better. God damn it. Some of the women, like my friend said to me, who the hell was pay for some of these to be taken off the stage? And again, I'm not trying to be harsh, but you'll understand if you went there. Carousel was the same. It wasn't like the best looking ones. Now, if you go to Pattaya and you go to Walking Street, pretty much most of the time they're all good looking, or most of them good looking. The second thing, or actually, let's go back to what I was talking about, the rating the girls. Now, again, I'd probably say they were mid to, some were good looking, and most of them not really much. Lollipop, I would say definitely they were better looking there. I would definitely sell that. They were better looking there. Now, one thing I definitely noticed is the enthusiasm from the women. Now, again, it is a tough situation to be in. Obviously, they're doing what they what they can do. And if I was put in their position, I think I would think the same as well. And having to deal with, obviously men on a daily basis who obviously they are what they are. It's, yeah, I can understand why they're not enthusiastic, but you can definitely tell they didn't want to be there. When there were certain songs playing, they didn't want to dance. It was like, my overall opinion is like they didn't really want to be there, and I definitely got that. Now there were some girls that definitely did. You could definitely tell that they were, they were the ones that do really well there. Like we were speaking to one that earns between 30 to 40k a week, in obviously earning money. And to be fair though, she was very, very good looking, so it is good money for them. But yeah, some of them, yeah, they just did not look like they wanted to be there. The bar finding system is different. So where in Pattaya you would bar find them to take them out, and then obviously you would sort something out later. With there, it's just one bar fine, that's it, done and dusted. It's not like, unless you wanted something weird. So from what I've been told and saw was basically you pay one payment and that's it, you're done and dusted, which that could go against you, I can imagine. Because if she turns around and says, I don't really want to do this, do you know what I mean? You're kind of stuck. Do you know what I mean? there's nothing you can really do there. So yeah, that's the thing. I will say this though, they're more up for group activity than Pattaya from what I've seen. If you understand what I mean. Pattaya, not so much. Here, a lot. Definitely a lot more enthusiastic around that. So, yeah, take that as you want to take it. Okay, right. So, yeah, that's my thoughts inside the bar. Again, a lot of people were saying to me, do not get your hopes up, and I'm glad I didn't. But I will say this though, it was definitely nice that they could speak English. One thing I definitely got irritated with was the language barrier in Pattaya to Angeles City, because when they did sit next to you in Pattaya, I really didn't want them to, because I was like, I can't make a conversation with you. First of all, I'm British and I'm Northern British, so it's very hard to make a conversation with all these women without getting Google Translate, and some of these places do not want you to get your phone out anyway. So yeah, that's one thing, that's one advantage I would definitely say with Angeles. The English language definitely goes a long way. Okay, so what's my final thoughts on the place? To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. I actually did like it. As long as you know pre-hand that you are definitely going to be paying, like there's no literally ways about it, because in Pattaya you could catch them at the end of you can catch a lot of women at the end of the night towards maybe like 4 o'clock in mist, and if they liked you, do you know what I mean, like you could just go home and it'd be fine. I mean, you won't be having to pay or anything like that. Where here, there's no ifs about it. You are 100. If you want to go with a girl, she's there 100% for business only, and that's it. And one of the reasons why I know about this is because there's a big YouTuber called Party Time in Asia, Belgian fella, quite famous for going around Asia. I've bumped into him a few times. I bumped into him in Cebu, Manila, and for some reason I bumped into Angeles, and I had a good conversation with him. And he's going to make a very, very similar video, Pattaya versus Angeles City, and he's been there for a month. And this is a guy who's blonde, blue eyes, white, tall, pretty much what you would expect to be top tier class of what Asian women want, and he's had to pay every single time for what he told me that night. So yeah, just best believe you are paying. There's no way you're getting around it. Where Pattaya, there's a chance that you can just actually talk to a girl, just say, hey, I like you, and blah 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 blah, and you know what I mean, you don't have to do that kind of thing. Would I go again? Yes, I'd definitely go again. I wouldn't go by myself. I never went by myself. I went with the lads and things like that, and my girl. But would I go again? Yes, but only a short time though. Only for a short time. You don't really want to go there longer than, I would say, 4 days, because it can take your soul away, and it's super expensive compared to Pattaya. Now, don't get me wrong, you can spend a lot of money in Pattaya, but I honestly would say Angeles City is more expensive overall for alcohol, for the whole situation. If you want that, it's a lot more expensive. One thing that always gets to me in places like this is that what I can see on the women's face, these women, because one thing that I've always been able to detect is the game being played in the background. Because there's some guys, like, they love the attention, but sometimes they forget it's like, business. It's only business, and it's something I cannot forget. I can't take myself out of that headspace. And yeah, it's something that I've struggled with. And when I watch some of these women, do you know what I mean, make a conversation, some of them make really good conversation and really enthusiastic and things like that, but some of them, you can see that the soul has been taken out of them. You can see that they don't want to be there. You can see that they're just there for the money, and I get it, do you know what I mean, it is what it is. But it's very, very hard to not unsee that, especially when they're on the stage and they're really enthusiastic and they don't want to be there. And again, I don't blame them. Do you know what I mean? In being put in that situation, I'm sure that they would want to be in a better situation, better pay, etc., etc. But they're doing what they can to obviously put food on the table. But it's hard to see. Like I said to my friend, when they're on stage, it looks like a pen. And this is the same with Pattaya on Walking Street. It's like they're in a pen, and it's like a cattle pen. I know it sounds horrible saying that, but it's the best way to describe it. It's like you see a pen of women, and they're just walking round, and it's like, oh, do you know what I mean? It's hard to see. You can't unsee that, and it makes me feel sorry for them. Do you know what I mean? It really, really does. Yeah, it does take. If you've never seen something like that before, it is a little bit heartbreaking. But some guys can get past it. Some guys, do you know what I mean? Or a lot of guys can get past it, and especially the guys that have not had attention in their life or just for a very, very long time, they can get past it, and it is what it is. But I can't. I just can't get past it. It's very, 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 very hard to unsee. Sorry, but again, it's a good place. Do you know what I mean? It's a good place to have fun. It's a good place to have a laugh with your friends. It's definitely interesting to see if you've never seen it before. My other experience, it's definitely Pattaya Light, but I would say I prefer it with the conversations, because again, in Pattaya, I struggle to speak to Thai women. It's one thing I do prefer when it comes to the Philippines, that I can have a good conversation, because you get to flirt and you get to have that, you know, that romantic feeling. Where Pattaya, it's like speaking to a 5-year-old. That's the way I could describe it. You know what I mean? It's like you've got to like really draw out your words, and then you've got to get the Google translator out, and it takes that away. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. It's not for me. But if it's for someone who, like, I have a friend who loves to speak to him. The other way, he actually has a Thai girlfriend, so you know what I mean. He likes that, but for me, it's not for me at all. But I hope you liked my video. Please like and subscribe. My subscribers are going up, which thank you very much. I'm very, very close to 200 subscribers now. Many, many videos on the way, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.